Hey guys, this is going to be an in-depth view into Utah versus Dilo on the Isle. We're going to start by talking about the Dilo's hitbox and ride positioning. By showing you guys the most forward and rear positions, you guys can pick a place between those two spots to be safe. Here you can see that being behind the Dilo's neck is the safest place to be in the forward position, and this is a good place for you to ride if you want to ride forward. Next is going to be the most rear position you can be, which is right around the thigh area, and it's all about tail management in this ride. You want to just make sure that you're watching your tail and making sure that you're keeping your tail away from the Dilo's mouth. And with good tail management, you won't get bit. And here, I'll show you guys some poor tail management, and as soon as that tail gets near that mouth, you are able to get bit.
Alrighty, so we talked about the most forward and rearward position that you can be on a Dilo. When attacking a Dilo, the area that is behind the Dilo's arms is a target for your bites. When a Dilo is sprinting constantly in a fight, you can't really ride them safely since they're a bit fast. The best way is to aim for your target zone, sprint, bite, and then immediately stop to readjust for your next bite, which you see here.
There are several entries we're going to talk about. The first one is going to be the jump entry, which works but may not be the best entry to use in certain situations, especially like jumping downhill. Generally, in regards to any entry, we are faster than a Dilo and outturn them, so it's really just a matter of being patient in order to get entry. Here you can see, even with a poor jump, and the Utah is still able to gain entry, and they do end up taking a bite, but still they should be able to still drop the Dilo.
So face tanking is by far the easiest method of entry and most straightforward. Just face tank a bite in order to get behind and then pray you get enough bites you need to drop. But on a serious note, once you face tank, you're going to have to watch which way the dial turns and match their turns so you don't run into their face.
The worst entry on a Dilo is going to be when a Utah does not commit to any type of strategy to be given with. Here you see that Utah doesn't pick a direction and ultimately jukes way too late and ends up in a position where the Dilo can get a free bite. However, even with a bad entry like this, the Utah should still be able to get entry ultimately and finish the Dilo off before they drop from bleed.
The hardest entry is the juke entry. You have to get their distance right versus a Dilo. Right here is a good distance to start our juke. Right there's a small juke, and once we get past this point on the Dilo, we can easily turn around and beat them in a turn fight for entry.
So while you guys watch some of our clips on Utah vs Dilo, we're going to talk about the advantages each Dino has over the other. So starting with the Dilo first, the Dilo's advantages is going to be night vision, their ambush speed, and bleed. Now, night vision helps with the ambush strategy, and that's typically the strategy most Dilos will have to take against a Utah, because a Utah is going to be faster, but a Dilo's ambush speed is faster than a Utah sprint speed. So as long as the Dilo has ambush and the Utah does not, then the Dilo is actually favored. Now, the bleed. The Dilo bleed is scary. You can actually bite a Utah once, and they will bleed out in a minute 20 with no additional bites. So if a Dilo does have ambush, then, getting one bite on a Utah will finish that Utah off.
So Utah versus Dilo is very much so in favor of Utah. It's a bite force fight, so as long as you get entry behind the Dilo, you should have it in the bag as long as you commit to tail and outturn them. So things to not do is don't run away. He will bleed you out. It's one bite to bleed you out. It takes a minute and 20, and it takes 5 bites for Utah to drop a Dilo, so it's not that long of a fight as soon as you get behind. Um, that and most servers have a body down rule, so once you drop body down, it's not going to despawn in the time you have to heal bleed, which does take a fat minute to heal that bleed.
Alright, well, good luck and happy hunting, and this is Professor and the Beanzies.
From the Alcatraz staff.